Hello guys, my name is Labi and this video was inspired by the conversation I always have with my friend quite often. We both graduated from college 5 years ago and we've been working for 5 years. So whenever we get together to have lunch, the conversation about finance always come up. And what I've discovered from having this conversation with my friends is that they don't exercise the idea of paying yourself first. It's like sometimes they do and sometimes they have a good reason not to save. And I would always tell them you must always pay yourself first every time you get paid. It is the first rule to creating wealth. This idea is explained in the book The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason, and it is also explained in various books. I think another book is The Rich Dad Poor Dad also explains this idea. And to make this idea clear to my friend, I actually made this illustration. When you look at this illustration, you will see the $100 bill, which represents our income, which we can say that is how much we get paid, whether you get paid every week or every 2 weeks. So that income represents how much you get paid every 2 weeks. We'll use that as an example. So in that illustration, we have you, which is we also have government tax, we have bills and living expense, we have consumer products, and we have other. So going through all that, we'll start with the government tax. Every time you get paid, the government automatically takes the income tax out of it. You have no control over that. And out of your income, you also have to pay for your rent, pay for your cell phone bill, or any other living expense you have that you have to pay. That is factored into your income, so that is fine. And for some people, even including me, there are some consumer products we like that we want to have, so we always buy those as well, but that we have control over. We can choose when and when not to spend our money on that. And the last one is other, which is pretty much to each person there might be other things that is always taken away from your income. So this idea is just like every time we get paid, there are always entities that are trying to take away from our income. Then you have you are in control of every time you get paid to take at least 10%, as it is stated in the book The Richest Man in Babylon, and always save it. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, make sure you take at least 10% and save it away. And you want to do that every time you get paid. Don't skip it. Don't say, oh, this week I'm going to save, next week I'm not going to save this week, for one reason or the other. You must always save every time you get paid. It is the first rule. If you can save more than 10% conveniently, then the book also recommends that you should do that. But the rule of thumb is 10% for everyone. And I've been following this idea. Every time I work, I always save. Even now, I'm saving at least 30% of my income, because I just believe that is the beginning to creating wealth, because you can accumulate wealth through compound interest without even having anything to invest in the first place. And another way to think about it is, think about it this way. You work all day long, very hard to earn this money. Why would you want someone to take it away from you just like that? So every time you work, you must always protect yourself by always taking something out of that money you've earned and just put it away somewhere. Even if you don't know what to do with it for now, just take it and put it somewhere. It is still better to have this money for security and emergency purpose than not have it at all when you need it. Anyway, that's the idea, and I just wanted to explain this idea. I'm pretty sure a lot of people out there knows about this idea, but it's still an idea that not too many people follow, because it's easy not to follow it, right? So I just want to put it out there again that it is very important to follow this idea. Personally, I've made tremendous gain just by following this idea, because when I look back on 5 years that I've been working and I've been saving consistently for 5 years, every time I get paid, I save consistently at least 10% or more, and 5 years later I have something to show for it. And in conclusion, I would also leave you an interview that Ludacris did on the Breakfast Club, where he was talking about how he actually accumulated his wealth. And you would notice that in that interview he expressed the idea of paying yourself first. A lot of people might have watched that interview and missed it, but I caught it and I would include that interview at the end of this so you can see why it is important to always save. Thank you and hope you like it. If you like it, please feel free to share it with your loved ones so everyone gets on this page to allow themselves to create the type of financial wealth and financial stability that we all need. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.